Okay, I see most of you are from a common background, that is networking, which is really good. And but starting with automation. So today we will deep dive into getting started on this demo session, and I'll explain you the next flow, that is enrollment of the batch, the course pricing, and what you get along with that, the lab material, the scripting, how does the class goes. So you will get to know each and everything today. This is going to be 1 to 1.5 hour of session. So stay tuned till the last minute. You will get all the details. So without wasting any further time, we'll get into the actual thing. So this is a lab that you see on my screen. So on this lab, if you're from a networking background, you know what is iOS XC. So this is one of the Cisco image family, XR, XC, and iOS Catalyst. So this is iOS XC. These are iOS switches, or you can say that L2 switches, iOS family. These are the routers, iOS routers. And there is a Palo Alto. There is a ASA node here, ASA device here, and there is a FortiGate device. So we have kept few vendors here, multi-vendor concept, so that we can see automating these different vendors in throughout the classes or throughout this batch of 1 to 2 months from a different use cases. So from the use cases perspective, will discuss in a few minutes what is etc. So let me also tell you how the batch would be planned. So first we will go with the Python theory to understand how the Python syntax are written and how do you uh, decode a script, or how do you start writing the script, what is formatting, etc. Then we will get into the Python practicals. Okay. So usually I would recommend, if you have softwares like PyCharm or Microsoft Visual Studio, you can easily practice it. Say for example, you can just create a new file here, file, new Python file, and you can just say that it's a Python theory dot py. Dot py is the extension, and then you can start practicing. So this is something, if you start with the day one with our batch, where I am going to explain you all the different syntax writing, okay, the variables.
And just to, ask a question. Sorry to interrupt as well in between. So, how we're going to, practice using this PyCharm or Visual Studio in terms of networking? For example, if I want to do SSH to a box, so how we're going to build a lab where the local machine will have the connectivity to the router, either virtual or physical.
I got your question. You will get all the answer in this session. Okay, so just be tuned.
Perfect. Okay.
So we are starting with the Python theory initially. So I'm saying that this is the application where you can practice it. But to make it more simpler, you can also rely on any online tools initial days for the Python theory learning. I'll just show you some easy way to, if in case you don't have this kind of softwares. So this is not something a must that you need to have a Microsoft Visual Studio or PyCharm to learn the theory at least. So for the theory purpose, you can have the online tools like W3C Python, which already have an interpreter with them, integrated interpreter with them. Say for example, you wanted to try, as I was telling, the very basic of Python, that is Python print, right? So how would you try? Let's say if you want to type it and try it. So there is an option here called try it yourself. So click this, and this is the interpreter. You can keep manipulating or keep modifying this. So let's say you wanted to write your own syntax to understand if you're writing a right syntax or no. So this is a automation class. Okay. Now, if I run this, so if it wasn't a right syntax, then I would have got a issue here. Now, what I will do, just to make myself more better in terms of writing, I'll say that this is shape. So you got the execution. So why I'm showing this, because most of you guys are basic to Python. So if you want to write a bigger script, you should start with fundamentals. So let's say if you would have made some problem, so you did some mistake in this. So at that point, what you will get the error. You will get this kind of error. You have to start reading line by line of your error and understand where exactly you're going to make, where are you going to making this problems, or where is the syntax error. Okay, so that is how your learning should be. So this is for someone who just want to go out of I mean, the session is done and want to go and prepare, and then on our class one want to come prepared. So for them, this is a very good method, because you have 2 to 3 or 4 5 days before we start our new batch. So for someone out of curiosity want to go and have some basic learning and be ready. However, the Microsoft Visuals, and then we go topic upon topic, and we complete all the Python theory. So all this Python theory that's mentioned here, pretty much we will cover all of them in the same structure. We will discuss the syntaxing, comments, variable, data types, numbers, casting, string, booleans, operator, list, tuples, set, dictionary, if else, match, while loop, for loop, functions. These are something which we use it. Okay, very big time we use this thing. And also the functions writing. The functions writing, the iterations, everything is covered. Okay, so this is something for someone who never was into Python, doesn't know where to start. You think that you're not prepared for your class one. Okay, so there are some people who still wants to quit, thinking that I'm not prepared for class one. Uh, I don't think this batch is for me. So you have something to get started. You still have 5 6 days now, because the class is starting on Wednesday. So if you, in case you want to go ahead and do some basic check, then this is where you can start. And meanwhile, you can take the enrollment. My backend will give you the details about how to enroll the classes, etc. And when I start, then I'll start once again with the theory part. So this will give you that confidence of joining, if in case you lack that confidence. Okay. So that is point number one. Now coming to next point, why automation, why you need automation, what is the purpose of automation, what are you able to do with the automation, where do you use this automation. So let's discuss that now. I'll just take a new notes. We'll keep it interactive. Are you able to see my writing pad where I'm writing something?
No.
You stop sharing.
Okay, 1 second, let me check. And how about now? Do you see my writing
Yes.
pad?
Yes.
Okay, so this is a topic that is to be little interactive. So I want each one of you to give me one use case from the automation. So that will help even the others who are very new to this domain. They know that what is automation and where is the automation being applied or seen. What is the potential of automation? Okay. So who wants to start? I want only one use case from each one of you. If in case you know, otherwise you can remain silent and you can listen to others sharing some pointers.
Taking automated backup.
Okay, so taking a backup is one of the automation use case. Okay, so when you say backup, it can be command lines like show run or different set of commands, show IP route, show CDP neighbor, etc. etc. However, backup can also remain only to show run. So that's one use case where you take a backup.
Then creating objects into the firewalls.
Okay, so let's say creating configs I'll mention because you can have any number of configurations planned. Creating a configuration or pushing of a configuration on the network device. It could be creation of object, it could be creation of ACL rules, it could be creation of VLAN, it could be BGP configuration, OSPF configuration, anything that relates to configuration, you can do it using a Python script. Okay. And remember, all these are done on a mass number of devices, bulk devices. Can be more than 50, can be more than 100, can be 4,000. So it's for the mass up uh, automation scenario. What else?
We can use for troubleshooting. For example, we can instruct to collect output and parse it based on the requirement for specific troubleshooting.
Okay. So troubleshooting. Troubleshooting can be different scenarios.
Right.
If in case you want to take the show outputs.
Right. So what I meant is collect the required output, say whatever show commands we want, and specifically we know what to look for, right? So we can use script to parse that output and give it to us.
Then why you're giving troubleshooting? You can give it as a data parsing.
Yes.
Okay.
In
So
terms we generally say networking is troubleshooting. So we
hmm,
troubleshoot, collect data, and then and gather the information for
yeah,
troubleshooting.
okay. So I've just divided in two
Yeah,
different
data parse.
section, troubleshooting separate, data parsing separate. So first we'll discuss data parsing. So data parsing is when you got something in string format, you are converting it into a structured format so that the data can be taken up on a XML front end or on a Flask, or you can make any dashboard out of it. That's called data parsing. Okay,
Right.
unstructured data to structured data, and you are passing it to an application to make a nice presentation. Coming back to troubleshooting, let's say you got a alert, BGP neighborship down, site isolation. You're getting into the troubleshooting step now to see which BGP neighbor went down. What is the ISP circuit mentioned on that? It's all set of different commands that you run during the troubleshooting. Show IP BGP neighbor, show interface description, show logs, multiple set of commands, right? So you need a Python script that you can run to collect all this information and raise a ISP ticket stating that this is down since 10 minutes and give me the ISP ticket. So that's a troubleshooting. Or let's say you have a requirement to find out where is this IP address connected in your network. So might be you want to fetch all the MAC address table or ARP and you want to do a troubleshooting basically. So for all the troubleshooting related scenarios, you can run the automation. It will help you to run this across multiple devices and get you the output. You don't have to manually log into any device, make a SSH, enter the username, password, enter multiple CLI command. Might be you need not to. Your senior engineers can come up with multiple scripts here. So let's say if it was a BGP related, he can come and give you a script where you need to just change few things like username or password, and you get the output of it and you send it to a higher level. Same ways if there was anything related to uh, another scenario and you have a ready-made script. So it becomes more helpful. Plus, you get a better SLA, service level agreement. You don't breach this SLA for a P1 or P2 type of scenarios. And the next one was the data parsing, where you are parsing a data from a unstructured to structured so that you get a better dashboard generated. Okay. What else? What else do you think? From which corner of networking do you have any idea to share?
Loading image to the device.
Okay. So you mean to say copying image?
Correct.
Copying iOS image from the local directories to the hard disk of network devices, right? This is part of your upgrade process as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so in an upgrade process, you do multiple things. You make a copy of the file. You do the pre-checks. You make modification on the boot variables. You change config register. You make a write mem. You reload. You do the post check. You generate the diff check report. So in and out, these are all the steps that's related to upgrade. You can divide them into multiple, because sometimes what happened, we don't keep all the activity in single change. We only keep copying image sometime as a single maintenance window. So you can have a script created to only copy and finish that part. The second thing, you can keep it for the rest of the thing. You can do the pre-check, boot variable, config register, write, mem, reload, and all this. They are basically where you do the upgrade process. Is image copy also you want it to be in the same thing, you can write a single script, but I will advise to keep it two separate, because image copy usually takes a lot of time, and you may not have enough time to do the rest of reload and bring the device. So two scripts here can get you upgraded, device upgraded, and you can close this change. Okay, in this case, there was something called diff report. Basically, diff report is nothing but pre and post check comparison, and showing you what has been changed or what has been deleted or what has been a new feature has been released. Very important report. And I will be showing you during our class how to make a diff check report as well, because there are uh, teams who are still making use of the traditional way to check both keeping left and right, and that method is not good. You have to have some way to have a a professional diff check report generated, where you can see easily what happened or what got created or what got removed, so that you can inform the next person, or you can close, or you can escalate the matter. Anything else that we can think about from the use case? Anything else that you can think about?
Bouncing of tunnel interface. Shut
Okay.
motion.
Okay, I have already done config, but yeah, we can mention it as like
Like, especially for the IPsec VPNs, when the tunnels are down, like bouncing them.
okay. All right. So again, it's a use case from your bulk changes, where you can bounce the port, or you can run the script across on multiple VPN speaking routers, and get the bounce done. Okay. What else you can think about?
Wireless requirement.
Come again,
Let's say, for
sorry.
example, wireless requirement. I mean, Wi-Fi requirement coming from the customer end. It would be the what kind of VLAN and what kind of the segments, and that would be automated from the GUI page. Then automatically it's triggered to the service request or else incident from the backend.
You mean to say a dashboard type of automation or
Yeah,
VLAN
yes.
VLAN creation you are saying?
No, 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 no. I'm not talking about the VLAN creation. VLAN already it's in place, but user having a set of requirements coming to
Mhm.
that L3 team or L4 team. They have mentioned the what are the things they have to make it for the wireless requirement as per the project. They they will put it on the inputs and then we can based on the inputs it is automatically triggered to the change
Okay,
request or something else.
what I understand is you're talking about the dashboard or the GUI based.
Yeah, GUI based request from the customer end, and then we can based on that we can proceed about the wireless
Okay,
infra.
so let's say if you have the front end built with the needful options, like you have options to select the device credentials and whatever configs that you want to push or whatever output you want to take it for, and then you have a button like submit, and then you get the output generated and which you can take it in a text file or whatever. So this kind of thing, which is called as a front end development, we have included this time in our course. So we will be using Flask. Flask is a front end programming tool to create this kind of dashboard. Okay. Remember, Python is a
Okay.
backend programming.
Hmm. We can using the modules like Flask or something else, which is the front end. Right?
Correct. So Python is a
Yes.
backend programming, and for the front end dashboard creation, we can use Flask, which will give you the option to select or tick box, and then you can push it. Meant for someone who is very new in your organization and you don't want to give them access to the script writing because they can make a problem while modifying or editing something, and even a small comma gets removed, the script will not run, right? Whereas if you give them this dashboard and ask them to do some changes, they can easily do it and run this. That's the dashboard purpose. Okay.
Understood.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Thanks.
What else can we talk about? Any other use case? Any other use case that you can think about? Have you heard about APIs?
Yeah, bro.
So, okay. So those people who are working on a controllers like SD-WAN or Epic controller, or let's say Palo Alto dashboard or FortiGate. So these are the technology that we use with HTTP. So if you put the IP address and try to access it on your browser, you get the dashboard. So where you can create the object, you can read the policy, etc., etc. Right? So these are being automated via HTTP protocol, and you can write a Python script using REST API concept to fetch fetch the report, to create object group or write the policy, to modify, and if there's any deletion request, you can also do that. So this are called the HTTP operation. So when we start and we reach our API section, then I'll show you this area as well. So these are all highly used for center, Meraki dashboard. So all that which runs over on okay, even your F5 load balancer, if you have an Access dashboard, all that can be automated using application and all these things. Okay, what else? Anything else? Any other use cases that you can think? Have you thought about generating audit reports? Say, for example, I get a requirement from a customer that give me a report of my current running iOS version. So it's not typical mass configuration. In this, your use case is that you generate some report as well, some Excel report, and then you're able to present it or email it. Okay, so you are going to write a script first. That script will talk to the Cisco boxes, get all the show commands triggered, and then give you an Excel file at the end that you can email or present in the meeting. Okay, now these are not your typical show commands that you can enter in the Excel, because who needs all the raw output of show command? We need some fine tuned. So we will be using something called regex, regular expression. Have you heard about this? Regular expression?
Yes.
Anyone? Okay. So regular expression we will be using to target the show command, fetch the data, and then put it on the Excel file. So it will give you a very clear uh, reports generated, automated reports generated, which will have all the data. So you can think from current iOS report, one scenario. Other one could be you're making a CPU utilization going through on your all Palo Alto devices, right? Most of you might be still going on each Palo Alto and checking the utilization, but you can think about making it automated. Might be during your upgrade process that we discussed some time back, copying, etc. It needs to have the free space availability, right? So you can also make a free available space on your devices, a report which can fetch all the free spaces available. And out of that report, you can say that I will only be pushing the image copy to this 20. Rest needs some old files deletion because they don't have enough spaces, right? So these are all audits that we make it to check what is present on the devices or in network, discuss in the meeting, and then come with the remediation part. The last steps here comes with the remediation. So remediation is nothing but fixture of that, fixing that issue. So if you have a iOS versions running on a very lower end and it needs to be upgraded, that's a remediation. You are running on SNMP V2 on 80% in your network and you need to upgrade to V3. That's a remediation. So audit is to find the flaws or to make it better or your network config. And the remediation is when you fix the issue. So they go hand by hand, which is again can be crackable using the Python script. Manual would take months or years to get the basic report generated, but with automation, we can do all this concept in very short span of time. Okay, what else? Any other use case? Have you heard about compliance or sorry? Come again? I missed you. Have you heard about compliance and standardization? Let's say I'll give you one scenario. Let's say I had a line 1 to 4, and I had some ACLs added in this line VTY. Okay, this was the scenario when it was running at 16x. Then I upgrade my device. I upgrade my iOS image to 18 series. Now what happens? The line VTY from 1 to 64 comes up. Okay, this is when I upgraded, because right, when you upgrade, some new features gets showing up. But when the new features comes up, those are running on a blank configuration. Say for example, if you got line 1 to 64, what will happen? Only line VTY 1 to 4 is having those ACLs, because you also had it in the previous line. But your line VTY 5 to 64 is showing blank. That's a loophole. That's a bad practice. Anyone can take advantage of that to connect to you. So this is one example I'm saying. So in this case also, you need a audit report generated to make sure what is running on your config. If there is any feature has been introduced post your upgrade which needs to be fixed, and then you can remediate it. Okay, so this is one use case. There could be one more compliance or standardization. I'll tell you that. Might be you are having different routers, set of routers, and let's say we are talking about an ACL group called CCTV alarm or something like this. Let's say UK. I see that my ACLs inside that ACL group are having 10 permit lines. Might be here I see only 2 permit lines. Might be here I only see 14. Might be here I got to see 5. So all the routers are running on a different content, which is again not matching your standardization. So you have to run the compliance check to see, do you have the correct number of ACLs or not. Let's say you have a ACLs of 12 lines, which is your standard. This ACLs will be checked against on all these routers to make sure which lines are extra and which lines are missing. And then you fix those issues. That's called compliance and standardization. There would be a standard set of configuration for each and every protocol. Let's say for DHCP, you have a DHCP uh, best practices. For OSPF, you are having certain best practices. For BGP, you are having a best practice. For ACL, CCTV, you have certain best practice. You're going to take them as a source and run against all your devices to see whether they are following that same thing or no. And you get a report generated saying that this device is non-compliant, this is non-compliant, this is compliant. On non-compliance, then you run the audit, find out what is missing, what is added, and then fix them. So a best practice always say all your device must have a consistency in terms of configurations. Okay, so that's another use cases. Anything else that you have in your mind? There can be many. If you go on, you can have a SSL certificate. Let's say most of you in the production are making use of a self-signed SSL certificate, which keeps expiring because they come with a 1 year of validity or 2 or 5. We never know, but they keep expiring. So you can write a Python script which triggers an alert to you, informing that this is getting reset or expired in next 1 week or 2 days, and so that you can fix that issue, right? So that's one more thing. Anything else? I think we discussed pretty much all. If there was anything that can be also can be concluded in one of this in a broad section. So from the broad section, we covered backup, config push, troubleshooting, data parsing, iOS upgrade, tunnel shutdown bounce, dashboard making, GUI based automation, API automation, audit reports, remediation, compliance and standardization, and use cases like SSL certificate tracking and trigger updating. Okay, so this is from the why automation or what is the purpose of automation. So you know when you join the course that what are you going to learn. Now coming to course outline and the flow. As I told you, our week 1 is going to be Python theory, and I gave you some pointer beginning of this class. If you joined a bit late, you will get this recording on our YouTube channel, Network Journey. You can have a look at that. So this is going to be in the first week Python theory. Then we'll start with hands-on. We'll have Netmiko module for SSH. We will have a Nornir, okay, from the Pythons series. Then we'll talk about robot framework. How do you write a robot framework? We have pyATS for the unit testing. We will talk about Flask. So all these are Python itself. Then we will talk about Ansible. So in Ansible, we have all the topics like writing a playbook, condition making, AWX, that is the Ansible dashboard. Then for loops, okay, ad hocs, vault, and all the Ansible things we will discuss. Then we'll go through the REST API. So when I talk about the REST API, we'll talk about from the SD-WAN concepts or Epic, which is ACI controller, Palo Alto, okay, and also definitely Cisco side as well. So this will be total be let's say a 2 month of course minimum, and it's going to be Monday to Thursday weekdays from 8 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. India timing. Okay. We do also have weekend, which is already started with 4 to 5 classes done. If you are already aware with Python and want to join that, you can take that. If you want to start fresh, then this is a batch which I'm going to start. If you want to join any other parallel batch, then you can reach out to our counselors and they will help you to place you on one of the appropriate batch. Okay, each batch goes for 2 to 3 months, sometime 3 to 4 months as well. So if you delay, if you don't take an action, then you have to wait for 4 months for the next batch. And who knows, might be that time you have something else coming up and you might have lost the interest in this topic. Okay, so this is the right time. If you think you have to upgrade your skill set, then take a weekend or weekdays. We'll make a needful arrangement to get you one of the batch, and you can either take both weekdays or weekend. We will make that arrangement for you. Okay, what you get once you enroll, you will get the LMS. So this is where all the recording will be placed, and it's a lifetime access. You will get all the workbook, script, support from the backend for home lab setup. Okay. And as I shown you the lab, which has a multi-vendor. So you get all those things in a package, and included the live instructor-led batch. So that means you will have a trainer in the batch. So basically this will be trained by me. So I'll be there for next 2 to 3 months in this batch to take it from step 1 till last. So this is all in overall that whatever you get. And as I told, the counselor in some time will give all the things in a very detailed manner. I'll take you to the lab once before I hand over. Let me show you one
Sagar,
thing.
meanwhile, one question.
Mhm.
Like, do you also look into like the multi-freedom concept also,
Which one?
multi-context or those things?
Which one? Come again?
So like, do you also provide like how we can configure the firewalls if you have multi-freedom or multi-context or multi virtual platforms?
See, if we have that at our side, we can help it, or otherwise, I can give you the pointers for that. Okay.
Okay.
Because when you learn something that is replicable for any vendors. Okay.
Yeah,
I
see, the
believe
main
you can.
idea is like, we have the setup where I'm currently working. It's all virtualized, like with ACI and all those things, right? Like, and I need to put the policies in 6 different firewalls for a
Mhm,
single communications.
mhm.
So, uh, if this helps, then it will be a good
Yeah,
idea.
that is what I'm saying. The requirement in networking is not one or two, it's n number. Okay. So we will be talking from its main perspective, how to do it. So if you know that you can do it on a VDOM, you can do in a context or a cluster, it doesn't matter in networking. So I'll help you with whatever it is.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay. You got your answer, right?
Yes, yes, thank you.
Yeah. See, this is one lab. This is a lab which you can see on my screen. Basic networking commands I know you would be aware of. So let's say if I wanted to check what is the IP addressing, etc., etc., I can make use of show IP in brief, take the IP, go to my script. Let's say I will replace this with my IP 172.16.24 and what was that? 19. Okay. I have to configure the local user, so I can just check or validate if I have them or not. Okay, there is a admin with Cisco as a password. So I already have updated it. And what does this do? This is basically sending some configuration. And the file is kept at this location. So let's see what is it sending? What is the configuration it is sending? Okay, it is trying to send something like NTP server, logging host, BGP, etc. Correct? So now what I will do, since the script is there with us, I'll simply right click and run the script. Okay, so that's sometimes the communication problem that happens. Okay, 1 second. I'll just validate if SSH version is running or not. Because sometimes what happened, the RSA keys become disabled. So you can see that SSH was disabled. So I'll just generate those key, crypto key, generate RSA modulus 1024. Because without your SSH communication, your script will not be able to talk to it. See now what happened. So you pushed your configuration from a notepad to the real device. You can also validate if this got configured or not. So if you check for NTP, see, this is what you configured just now. You check for logging. See, this is what it got configured. See, this is what it was. And if there was any mistake with your CLI command, like if you see this, you have something invalid characters, then you get that issues as well on the screen. So that you can inform your customer that I pushed the configuration, but there was a problem with the CLI command. So fix the configuration and send me. So and let's say then he gives you the corrected config and then you push it across. So if the configs are good, you will get a success with all the line. If there was any issue, then you get a unsuccessful message or invalid line to identify where the issues went. So this is in a list format. We call this data type in Python as a list. Meaning you can add any number of device in this. So you can have even thousands of devices. If you think you do not need in this, you don't want to make a change, you wanted to keep it on a text file or something, then you can open a text file and keep all the devices across on this. And this text file, you can read it from the Python script and feed it there. So that you don't have to make any changes here. It will be all put up on a text file on a external folders. Okay, so this is what we do in the automation. And in the automation, remember, the device has to talk to the network, the PyCharm or Python application or the script has to talk to the network devices. So while they talk to them, there are two protocols that we majorly use. One is SSH, second one is HTTP. Though there are SNMP and you might also have this telnet, but we do not use them because they are plain text and SNMP is UDP, not a best practice. Whereas SSH and TCPs are the good ones. Okay. And for SSH type of automations, we have n number of libraries. We have Netmiko, Nornir, all these pyNTCs, NEPAM, okay, robot framework, pyATS, they all work on SSH. And for HTTP, we have REST API. So there is a library called request library. Okay, so this is how we communicate to the box. So when you say automation, there should be a way the PyCharm or the Python script can talk to the network devices. So it will be our regular protocols itself. So you might be wondering where is that SSH and how it is written. So it's part of the package. This is the library. Okay, this is the package Netmiko, and this is where we are passing on all the data to it. So we are saying that the device is going to be iOS. So this is like a template. Then I'm going to say that this is what my credentials is. So all the information will go to connect handler. And connect handler will check the device type, then pass it on to the base connection, trigger the SSH. And at this point, I am having the connectivity initiated, this point. Then I'll have the connection successful by this line. Then I'm sending the config or I'm fetching the config using some more functionality. So I can make use of send command timing, send config from file, send config set. There are many functions that is written here in the Netmiko package. So we will use it and we can do whatever jobs that we want to. We want to fetch, delete, modify. Everything can be done on the line forward. Now in this particular structure, if you replace the IPs with Palo Alto and make some changes on the device type and the credential, then the script is replicable. It can be replicable for a Palo Alto, or if you wanted to use it for some other vendor. So you have to make changes here on the IP. You will make the changes on the template. You will update your device credentials, and then you can change your configs lines or something. Many student thinks before joining the automation class that if we are learning for Cisco, do we have to learn for Palo Alto separately or separately for a F5 or separately for any other vendor? You don't have to do that. If you know one script that you have written for, let's say for Cisco, with minor changes, you can easily replicate this for another vendor and get your job doing. Because that is what I said when you were asking for VDOM, which is a 40 gate. The same context we also have in Cisco, we also have in Palo Alto and other vendors too. So So if you learn from one side, you can easily replicate that for another vendor and get it going with that scenario. Okay. Fine. I think we had a good discussion. I'm available for next 2 to 3 minutes for the technical Q&A. So if you can let me know any questions or anything, we can discuss that. And then I'll hand over it to my student counseling team, and they will guide you with onboarding process, pricing, and the details that you get along with the onboarding process and the batch start time, etc., etc. You can check with them. So from technical side, any questions or any case studies that you want to discuss or anything, you can let me know now.
Hey, on the code editor, do you recommend this VC Code or PyCharm?
Anything. Both are going to do the same thing. Okay, and it is your choice. You can take up MS Visual Studio. It works the same way how the PyCharm is working. So I will suggest you, if in your production scenario you're going with VS, then stick with VS itself. And rest whoever is using PyCharm, they can use the PyCharm. There is no limitation of uh, each other. Okay, so they can be used.
On Ansible, what all you think we will be covering?
On is Ansible, we will be
Mhm.
covering playbook writing.
Okay.
Then we will have condition making. We will have handlers. We will have a custom Python module designed for Ansible to run. It's also called custom Python plugins, if you might have heard. Then all
Mhm.
the things like ad hocs and Vault. Then what else? You have AWX. Then I'll also show the integration of GitHub, AWX, and how to put those variables in that AWX. Then yeah, I think I can recall this much, but there are few more items comes in between that ad hocs, Vault, and other things like for loops and all those functionality.
Okay.
Okay, and
And
yeah, one
how,
more thing, that is Ansible Galaxy.
okay. In the lab access, like how are we going to do the lab access? I think it's the Eve which you
Yeah.
think so.
So yeah, lab access will be giving you either via the Windows VPN or Linux one. We normally give two, so that if one is not working, you can make use of the other platform. This will be the private network. So
Mm-hmm.
once you connect via VPN, where you will get a private IP where you can log in. Each one of you will have your own instance or access, and you can spin up and do a basic first day. You have to configure them on a DHCP, because these will be brand new nodes. So once you do that, then I'll show you how to install uh, the PyCharm on the other things, and how do you kind of connect PyCharm with the devices.
So every individual will have their own access for the lab, or it will be a common access
No, no,
for
it will be individual access.
individual access,
Yeah,
and it
individual
will be
access.
either Windows VPN or Linux VPN. That's what you're saying.
Yes, two VPNs you will be receiving.
Okay.
Okay.
And that lab is available like up to what time? Where
Yeah,
is
the labs
according?
labs we provide is 24/7. With this course, I think some 3 to 6 months you get it for the remote lab, and also we give the home lab ready-made file, which is a OVA file. That's
Okay.
a lifetime accessible. If you have basic like 16 GB RAM, then you
Mhm.
can deploy it in your home lab itself.
You said that your lab faculty can help us to get that installed if we need any help on our machine, right?
Yes, the backend will help you over on Ultra Weaver or AnyDesk and set up this.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. So, Sajid, if you are there in the meeting, I'll make you host. I have to join another meeting in some time.
Okay, thank you. I will take it from here.
I'm making you host here. Yeah, thank you, everyone. It was a nice interactive session. Thank you. Have a good day.
Hello everyone, myself Sajid. I'm the student relationship manager and the counselor. I'm here to give you the details towards this Python network automation course. And here I'll be giving you details like what all access and what will be your course outline and what all access you'll be getting, and we'll be discussing about the pricing part as well. Okay, so without wasting any time, let me start with my first slide. So as you can see my screen, I have opened my first slide, so which is for course syllabus and class schedule. Okay, so here I have mentioned this course for this will be a Python network automation fast track course. So which covers Python, Ansible, then REST API, then pyATS, then SD-WAN automation, then firewall automation on Palo Alto, FortiGate, then on Checkpoint, whichever vendor you are using, you can automate that particular vendors as well. So by the getting the training on dedicated vendor, so you'll be having the sessions over it in coming classes. Okay, and like we'll be covering robotic frameworks as well. So just mainly topics I have mentioned here for the understanding purpose. So remaining thing, I hope you got the details over the today's session, so how it will be going to. Okay, and regarding the schedule, so this will be going to be a Monday to Thursday batch, like weekdays batch. So from Monday to Thursday, and here the timings will be 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. IST, 1 hour of session. So every day, like Monday to Thursday, and the course duration will come so for 2 months. Okay, this will be like weekdays batch, Monday to Thursday, 1 hour of session. So 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. IST Indian time. Okay, and let me move towards my next slide. So as you can see here, so I have mentioned the course enrollment and access details here. So like once upon your enrollment, so like once you are going to enroll for this course, what all access you'll be getting. So here I have mentioned that accesses, like you'll be getting like lifetime recording access of your sessions, which will be attending through the Zoom meeting. That sessions will be recorded into the Zoom cloud, and from there it will be uploaded to our LMS. From the backend it will get uploaded, and the recordings you can access the once the class is done, like once class is completed in meantime of 1 hour, so you'll be having the recordings on the LMS. So from there you can access the recordings whenever you want, like if in case if you are practicing, if you are going through, or if you are preparing for something, and if you are referring for any of your exam preparation or your production work, anything it may be, you can access the recordings from the LMS, and that will remain with you for lifetime accessible. And in case if you missed out any particular session for the day, so let's say Saturday, due to your some emergencies, you couldn't make up to attend the class. So the recordings will be uploaded to the LMS in meantime of 1 hour. So after that, you can go through the recording and you can catch up for the tomorrow's class as well. So meanwhile, like if you have any doubt, you can clear it on Sunday session. Okay, and secondly, we'll be providing you the 24 into 7 lab access from our side, so which are hosted on our servers and cloud servers, which you guys will be accessing via remotely, and the access will remain for 4 months. That you can access it totally remotely, 24 into 7 accessible. We'll be providing you the dedicated separate pods, separate instances for each and every person, and will be giving you for the 4 months access. Okay, and we'll be providing you the dedicated materials like workbooks, PPTs, PDFs, step-by-step lab manuals. All the materials we'll provide you. that you can download and you can keep it with you as well. And the G drive access remains with you for lifetime. If in case if you missed out any material, you can re-download it once again. Okay, and the downloadable materials remains with you for lifetime accessible, like using a G drive. If in case if you missed out as well, so you can use the same link to re-download the material once again. Okay, and yeah, next, let's say if you have the good configuration of your system, then we'll be helping you to set up a home lab, so that once you are done with your remote lab access, or simultaneously you want to practice the labs on your home environment. Some may have their personal servers, or some may wanted to have the setup on their personal laptops. So we'll be assisting you to set up home lab, and you just need to download the given files from our G drive. So once you download, after that, you can raise a ticket on our support DL saying I have downloaded so and so files for home lab setup. So one of our team member will connect with you, and he or she will be doing the setup on the laptop. And this will remains with you for lifetime accessible on your systems, or it may be on your server. And we'll be providing you the 24 into 7 backend support from our team. If you are facing any issues, any queries regarding to the course, or regarding to the portal, or regarding to the lab, anything it may be, you just need to raise a ticket on our support DL. One of our team member will connect with you, and we will resolve your issues accordingly in meantime.